Make sure you check out our new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfellow One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. All right, let's get our reaction in to Shawn Porter defeating Yordenis Ugas. I think it was a split decision. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow Sports TV. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Won't miss another video. And don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, thehealthblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow One Boxing. Get you 18% off their 100% all natural products from lotion, soaps, foot soaps, bath bombs, deodorant, toothpaste, hair pomade, and much, much more. Head over there when you get an opportunity. Website, promo code are in the description. And don't forget to check out the Patreon. $2 for hardcore boxing fans. And we will be doing a giveaway with the Health Blaze on Patreon, here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So follow us on all platforms and get an opportunity to win some free all-natural products. But Shawn Porter just came up with a stupid game plan. It's cool to come out. They try to switch it up. They try to overthink it. You ever overthought something and you could have just did it the basic way, and you could have just, if you did the basic way, it would have worked out better for you. You would have dominated, or you know, you would have passed the test with flying colors. That's exactly what this was. Kenny Porter, Shawn Porter, overcalculated. Oh, they over prepared for the fight as far as, you know, they game plan. They were trying to make Ugas the aggressor. And, you know, 1 + 1, that's boxing law. You know, make the counterpunch the aggressor, make him uncomfortable. But the problem is with that is Shawn Porter ain't a good enough boxer, you know what I'm saying, to do that. And he has some physical limitations that, you know, God made him that way. You know, so if God made you a particular way, you should fight how you built. And what Shawn Porter was trying to do is try to make Ugas the aggressor. And that's okay. It's fine to make Ugas the aggressor. All right? But you got to be able to know how to box. And Shawn Porter, Shawn Porter don't know how to box that good. He looked good, you know, moving wise on his toes. And, you know, he was bouncing up and down and, you know, looking cute. But, you know, he should have scrapped that game plan around the 3rd or at least the 4th round. And he should have used, and I'm going to tell you this, the thing I noticed about Shawn is that jab that he used while he's boxing on the back foot from the hip. It was really good. That's the jab. That's the type of stiff, straight jab he should use when he coming inside, instead of leading with his head and leading off with hooks. That's the stiff jab that Shawn Porter should use. That jab when he was boxing on the back foot, real sharp, piston-like, potent, hard jab, that's the type of jab he needs to use, doubling up, coming on into the inside, you know. And I was just thinking, like, damn, you know, I ain't seen Shawn Porter ever throw a jab that good. And it was good. You know, he needed to use that jab on the inside. He was the better athlete, you know, quicker with his feet, but Shawn Porter is just not a boxer. At 5'6", you know, it's hard for a smaller guy. We seen it with Isaac Dogboe taking on Yordenis, where they gonna rematch anyway. That it's hard for a smaller guy to get in, you know, fight on the outside. You know, once they can't cut the ring close distance off on you, it's a wrap. It wasn't that Shawn Porter couldn't cut the ring off and close it down on Ugas. He chose not to. He chose to go out there and prove a point that he can outbox Ugas, which, like I said before, conventional wisdom in boxing says, okay, turn the counterpunch into aggressor, you can win. It's kind of what Christian Hammer did, but on steroids. You know, in the figurative sense, before people run off with that. In the figurative sense, like Christian Hammer did to Luis Ortiz, he made Luis Ortiz the aggressor, and a Cuban did not do well with being an aggressor, and Christian Hammer was able to bust his nose open and land a few shots. But, you know, Shawn Porter couldn't really, he did more than Christian Hammer, but, you know, it just didn't look the way it's supposed to come out, you know. Or Ugas didn't look befuddled like Ortiz. But to talk about Ugas did everything he needed to do except for one thing. I'm going to say, you know, he dug to the body. If you listen to my prediction, he did everything to the game plan. Used the jab, double, triple the jab up, dug to the body a lot. You know, he did everything he needed to do. Threw some uppercuts, did not get an opportunity to really land any uppercuts because Shawn Porter was boxing and moving, so he couldn't catch Shawn Porter coming in. But the one thing he didn't do, volume. He didn't double, triple up to the body. He didn't, you know, throw more than 3 or 4, more than 3 combinations, 4 or 5 to the body. Or he didn't throw a lot of combinations at Shawn. He stopped that defense, like I told you guys. He got a mechanism that makes him stop. he can't throw too many more punches than 3, and that's what happened. He didn't throw enough volume because he couldn't make up for the lack of power outage he got. He don't have a lot of power, so when you don't have a lot of power, you got to make that up with volume. You know, he didn't do that. He didn't make his power outage up with volume. He dug to the body. He did everything I asked him to do in the game plan, and the correct thing he was supposed to do. His coach laid out a beautiful game plan, but he just don't have the power to make up for the lack of volume. He's one of those Cuban fighters that stop at the fence. And when I say stop at the fence, he won't go further than the yard. You know, he won't go 4, 5, 6, 7 in a combination. You know, that's just not in his makeup. And that hurt him tonight because if he had thrown more punches to the body, he possibly could have slowed Shawn Porter down. You know, but it was a real good fight. I just got done watching. I had to leave and shoot a move, and I came back and watched the rest of it. But I didn't score it because I didn't see no point of scoring it because I don't really care about the fight. But like I said before, Shawn Porter should have been aggressive, and Shawn Porter possibly could have stopped Yordenis Ugas. Shawn Porter should have been a lot more aggressive. You see, I hurt him with a jab at the end of the rounds. Shawn Porter should have scrapped that game plan third or fourth round and came out there, used lateral movement, you know, ducked, drove that left hook to the body, come over the top with that sweeping right hook he got. And he would have got Ugas out of there because Ugas his punch output wouldn't have been able to keep up with what Shawn Porter usually brings to the table. But, you know, his dad really did a shitty game plan tonight, and he didn't make the adjustment in the corner to tell Shawn to go out there and get Yordenis Ugas. So I don't know if they was practicing for an Errol Spence fight. They not outboxing nobody in the division but Ugas and Danny Garcia of any note. You know, he will not outbox Errol Spence like that, not Terrence Crawford, not Keith Thurman. But one thing I also want to say that, you know, Shawn Porter can even take advantage of, you know, the southpaw. You know, he can take advantage of Ugas being a southpaw because he don't throw straight punches, so he don't know how to throw a straight right hand. You know what I'm saying? His straight right hand, him and Keith Thurman's straight right hand is terrible. His is worse than Keith Thurman. So he really couldn't take advantage of his foot speed in those clear angles when you you going against a southpaw from orthodox and really throw that right down the pipe. Because Shawn Porter not capable of throwing the right hand down the pipe with any conviction or any respectable power. So if you're gonna box on the outside, then you're gonna have to have straight punches. You know what I'm saying? Especially you going to get a southpaw, you're gonna need to. He had a good jab tonight when he's boxing and stick that right hand behind the jab. He trying to. He stick off. He's trying to stick the right jab in there, a left jab in there, and then move and then jump in with some hooks to the body, hook over that. Look here, Joker, and that's why I say, man, I don't know what type of Kenny Porter, what type of coach he is, and I ain't gonna sit there and say that he's not a great coach, but you know that's something you work on in camp. You're going to get some southpaw, straight punches. We gonna sit there and box on the outside, double up the jab to the head. And I'm going against the southpaw, and we need to get on the inside. I'm going to need to put that right hand behind that jab. You know, Yordenis Ugas did an excellent job using his jab. He did everything he needed to do but volume. If this kid was a puncher like Luis Ortiz was a puncher, this kid probably would have beat Shawn Porter tonight. You know, obviously, I was looking at the fight. I know some scoring discrepancies and people saying this guy won, this guy won. I'm just glad it wasn't a draw, but looking at it, I thought you could have gave it to Ugas. I didn't score it. I thought Ugas could have won. He landed more eye-catching, popping punches. He was aggressor on the front foot. Obviously, he threw a lot less punches, and that worked against him, like I said before. But I thought he threw the more eye-popping punches. But Shawn Porter, still outworked him. I just think Shawn Porter, Shawn Porter deserved to lose this fight. It is not because just what happened in the ring tonight. I'm going to say it's all about what happened in the ring, but it's just not about the style he fought. The game plan was bad. You know what I'm saying? Shawn Porter should have scrapped that game plan. It's like they was trying to get some type of public acceptance by boxing tonight and not being known as football linebacker Porter. Look here, man, do what suits you the best. I don't know what was the thought behind, boxing tonight. I know they wanted to make the counterpuncher the aggressor, and they know counterpunching Cubans don't do good on the front foot, but when you don't have the ability to box and you boxing on the back foot and you don't have no right hand from an orthodox point of view against a southpaw, Yordenis Ugas didn't have to worry about nothing but putting his earmuffs on and that jab, and that's it. Shawn Porter, about the third or fourth round, Shawn Porter should have came in there and really cut the distance off on Ugas, grind Ugas down, use his jab, and just beat Ugas to the body and fold him. You know what I'm saying? And from my vantage point, I thought Yordenis Ugas edged that Joker out. And I didn't score the fight, and I don't care to go back to score the fight. I don't have the time to. This fight was not important to me at all. You know, if he gonna fight Errol Spence next, so be it. Because there ain't no way he can go. He can dance and box all he want to versus Errol Spence. Errol Spence is gonna hunt you down. And Errol Spence ain't gonna just throw 1, 2, maybe 3 punches at a time. Earl gonna unload the clip and stop you. But first of all, we got to get past Mikey Garcia next week, and I think Mikey Garcia could be a live dog. You know, I've seen stranger things happen in the sport of boxing, but excuse me, but Yordenis Ugas, you know, he'll have a gripe for a rematch, but you know, you left it on the table. You lost the fight. You should have threw more punches. You know, you should have been doubling, tripling body shots up. You should have been throwing more than 1 or 2 shots to the head, just throwing a jab at a time or just to counter right hand. He should have put some more behind there. He would have won the fight easily if he just would have become a value puncher. But at this point, that's his boxing DNA. It's being a 1 or 2 shot type of guy, and that's it. That's it for him. So he is what he is at this point. And if you know, Shawn Porter, you know, he ain't supposed to let this caliber opponent touch him. And in Ugas' last fight, he looked terrible. And Shawn Porter just would have been the aggressor. He stopped, you know, Ugas. Ugas ain't that good of a fighter, man. He beat Jamal James, okay. He beat Ray Robinson, okay. Those were the prominent names that he beat. He ain't done shit, you know, since coming back winning 8 fights. He ain't beat no Danny, no Shawn, almost beat Shawn. He ain't beat no Heath, no Terrence, no Earl, no Jeff Horn, no Manny Pacquiao, you know, no Josito Lo. He ain't beat none of them. You feel me? So this dude ain't even elite, and Shawn Porter out here struggling with, you know, mid-level welterweight contenders. What you gonna do versus the elite? Like Keith Thurman again, get smashed. Like Errol Spence, get smashed. Terrence Crawford, get smashed. Shawn Porter is a perpetrator. You know, he's a poser. He's a fraud. He ain't a real title holder. You know what I'm saying? They showed it tonight. Yordenis Ugas shouldn't even be on the same planet as him. With his style, he was supposed to buzzsaw through Yordenis Ugas, but like I said today, he boxed today. That's what his daddy wanted to do, box. I don't understand the method behind that madness. But I guess they was, you know, like I said before, they tried to make the Cuban the aggressor, and it worked out a little bit for Christian Hammer. He was able to survive last week, and Ortiz got off balance, and I think they had the same mindset about Ugas, but Ugas performed a lot better off the front foot than they expected. But I just think that's a credit to Shawn Porter not being able to box and having short arms and just being a short guy. But I thought Ugas could have edged it. Like I said, I didn't score before. It ain't no ill will towards Shawn. Congratulations to Shawn Porter and Kenny. See if they be a man of their word and fight Earl next. If not, it don't surprise me. If Keith Thurman jump in there and take that mandatory and that's what they fight, it won't surprise me at all. But they sold us Errol Spence, you know, fight week, and that's what we want to see if Earl get past Mikey. You know, real talk. That's the fight we want to see. Shawn Porter is just on borrowed time. It's just a matter of which welterweight, you know, get the crack at Shawn first. And that's just what it boiled down to. You know, if Shawn, don't get it together, I mean, Keith Thurman gonna watch him again coming off a tune-up fight. You know, he gonna watch the hell out of him. But yeah, like I said before, you know, I mean, you know, where does Ugas go from here? Is a good question. Ugas is a good fighter. You know, I like seeing him fight the winner of Granato's Danny Garcia. Maybe in a, Danny Garcia rated high in the WBC, kind of work his way back up. I think they should give him a short escalator ride to a title shot again. Fight Danny or fight Berto. You know, Berto was named as a title eliminator, mandatory. Even fighting Keith Thurman. You know, he could put Keith Thurman and Ugas on the undercard of Shawn Porter in Errol Spence fight or Mikey winner. That makes perfect sense, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to advocate for that. You know, but Keith Thurman could jump in and say he want a shot at Shawn next. So then you possibly get Earl versus Ugas next. So the combination of the four should be headlining, headline co-feature card coming up later this year. I believe it should be Shawn Porter Earl and then Keith Thurman Ugas on the undercard. I think Ugas is a good matchup for Keith Thurman. I think Keith Thurman will have much more success versus or Yordenis Ugas than Shawn. Keith Thurman is a different guy, but Ugas will have an opportunity to counter Keith Thurman as well. But Ugas just doesn't pack a punch that's going to bother Keith Thurman, in my opinion. So that's what I'm pushing for, man. I'm pushing for that card, Shawn and Earl, Keith Thurman, Ugas on the undercard. It just makes too much sense. I think Ugas did enough to get another title shot, or a title eliminator versus Berto or Keith Thurman to get back in contention. You know what I'm saying? Or a title shot versus Keith Thurman, and a title eliminator versus Berto. Get back in contention and get an opportunity to win a world title fight. I think he's done enough tonight to grant that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see no rematch for him and Shawn. Now, if Shawn and Earl don't articulate and Shawn go fight Keith, or Shawn fight somebody else and then Keith fall off, whatever, off the face of the earth, then I would take Earl versus Yordenis Ugas. I like that fight. If Shawn chooses not to fight Earl and not to fight Keith, then I'd like to see him fight Omar Figueroa. Next for Keith Thurman, really, I would like to see Keith Thurman fight Jamal James. That's my personal opinion. But it's Goodfellas Sports TV. I thought Ugas could have edged it, but I didn't score it, so I don't have no dog in the race on the scorecards. Don't forget we on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can reach out to the email if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, or you would have got a video question, just want to chop it up. All my information is there. Fastest way to get in touch with me is email or Twitter. Other than that, don't forget to check out our sponsor, thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Get you 18% off their 100% all natural products. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon button so you won't miss that giveaway. And other than that, man, if you want to make a donation, that link's always there. Continue to share the videos. And don't forget to check out the Patreon. Hardcore boxing fans, you won't be mad. It's your boy CJ Goodfella, Goodfella Sports TV. One time for the one time.